I think at first it was just like a awesome experience is going to happen. You take it in, and when I got told, it was like awesome, let's go, like a big opportunity, really big chance to do something really special, help my career, help grow as an athlete, as a professional, and it just all hit me at once. It was like, wow, this is going to be a really, really big opportunity. I was through the roof, and it was just one of those things in your career you go, this is a good opportunity to do something really special, and just great news. Ricky Meinhold called me. I was actually just leaving the hospital. My wife had been rushed to the hospital for the baby, and no baby at that time. I was heading down to pitch for Brooklyn that night, and he gave me the news that I was going, so then I had to call my wife and tell her, hey, hopefully the baby comes soon so we can all go to Arizona. And luckily 2 days later he was born, and now we're all out here. So just, Ricky called me, and it was like, here we go. This is going to be a really big opportunity, really big step in my career. And it's pretty good timing with my wife and our new baby that we were all able to come out here and experience this. It's been incredible. I mean, being out here on the West, never been out here before. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different, quote-unquote ball game being out here, but the talent level's super high, and I've been able to pitch pretty well so far and have some early success, and hopefully that continues. And but just being around and being in the locker room with some really, really good players, some high regarded players that were both in college and at the professional level, it's kind of a wake-up call. And it's like, what, at first I was like, do I really belong out here? And then after a couple weeks of seeing the games and playing a little bit, it's like, yeah, I do. And it's a really big confidence builder for sure. It's made me feel like I can pitch at any level, and I know with continuing to put in some work, that's possible. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you have to kind of like learn on the fly a little bit. The air is super dry. Every time I've pitched so far, my throat is dry as could be, and I'm big lick my fingers, rub my pants, grab the ball, and by like the third or fourth pitch of an inning, I don't have any more spit. I'm completely dry. I like get in the dugout, my throat's sore. So that's been a little bit of an adjustment. The ball flies out here, so I got to pitch a little bit different. Can't go up in the zone as much as I normally want to, just because I don't want to have the ball elevated on me. So being down in the zone a little bit, and I've actually found a little bit more success with that. I've generated a lot more ground balls than I normally do. So it's kind of a little bit different style of pitching that I think I might incorporate to my game in general. But yeah, the weather out here definitely does play a factor. It's real windy some nights, and air is thin, the ball travels, and to add to that, the guys out here really can hit. So it's definitely a combination of two big storms when the weather and the talent of players here. I don't know if it's challenging. I've been lucky. I've been able to throw a singer a couple times, and honestly, I didn't get to work with singer very much so far in both of our careers, just kind of different affiliates at different times, which I think being out here is a really good opportunity to learn him and him to learn me. And he's an unbelievably great catcher. He calls a great game. He gives you a lot of confidence out there when you're a pitcher. But like I said, I've been lucky enough to have him the first couple outings. But in terms of other defensive players and everything, it is different because you're looking back and you have a different jersey. Learning names when you're trying to say, hey, we're going to turn two here, who I got, who's the responsibility, different things, having different guys out there than you're used to. But out here, it kind of makes it just more of a game. When you're a normal affiliate, sometimes you get caught up in the affiliate and what's going on for a long season. When you're out here, it's kind of like you're just playing baseball again. You're on kind of like an all-star team in high school, and it's just like you're playing baseball. You don't really get too worked up at anybody. You don't, question anything. You're kind of just out there doing your own job. But when you got guys behind you like Brett and, Torkelson and different dudes like that, it's one of those things like, okay, wow, this is big baseball. Guys are taking big swings. Guys are making really great plays, and it's a cool experience. But it is different when there's, 5 different organizations within one locker room. Yeah, I didn't know anybody from other than the guys with the Mets before coming out here on any of the teams, and it's one of those things where it's like you immediately get the guys you play with, but then you get the where are you from, what state are you from, what college you go to, different things like that. So then you kind of create a little bit of relationship. But everybody out here is really personable. Everybody's just super upfront with what they're doing, what their career's been like, where they've been, and you talk to a guy long enough, you end up crossing paths within their career with somebody that and you cross paths, and you have somewhere you can kind of communicate with and talk about what you guys have experienced in pro ball. And more times than not, guys that are here know guys that you know, and it just kind of creates conversation that way. I think being hurt this year, missed a lot of time and really wasn't able to build off of the 19th season I had. But coming out here, I worked through rehab. I spent a lot of time with Kyle, with Driscoll, and working on a slider. And honestly, it's been my best pitch out here. I've gotten a lot of swing and miss that I'm not used to really getting with it. It's a lot harder than than I thought it was going to be, and it's kind of become my go-to pitch. If I need to find the zone, if I need to swing and miss, if I need something, I kind of go to that slider. And I didn't even have it as a pitch I would throw 2 months ago. So that's something that I've really picked up here, on top of the throwing the ball down in the zone a little bit. But my slider's been a lot more effective. Singer and I both talked about it the other day, like, where'd that come from? Where'd that pitch come from? And it's like, honestly, I've been throwing it for about a month and a half, 2 months, and it's probably my best pitch right now. If I wasn't here at the Folly, I'd definitely be back home training. I'd be at Capital District Sports up in Albany area, New York, training there and working out there, and probably 4 or 5 days a week in there, getting ready for what would be a build up to the off season. Being out here kind of cuts my off season in half, which is an awesome thing because we're out here playing baseball. But like I said, I missed a lot of time, so this is a really big chance to just kind of get my work in, play at a really high level where I haven't been able to get to a high level with regards to injury and the shortened season and the no COVID. And but yeah, if I was back home, just be working out, probably have a job somewhere, just make a little bit of money and doing that and being a dad and being a husband. But getting to do that out here and playing baseball is pretty cool. It's crazy. My wife and I just had our 1 year anniversary yesterday, and our son is going to be 2 months in a couple weeks. So it's been a crazy year, coming back from COVID, getting back into baseball, getting hurt, missing the whole year pretty much, being away from my wife during her pregnancy when she was in New York and I was rehabbing in Florida. Our son being born and me being rushed on a flight from Florida to New York to be there for it, then pitching a couple days after, going back down to Florida, then flying out there. I mean, it's just been a crazy year. But when they're at the game and you're pitching and you're in this type of environment, this atmosphere, it puts everything into perspective, what we're doing. And I couldn't do it without my wife, for sure, without how strong she's been. But when you're out here and they're both in the stands, it's just an awesome feeling that I never thought I would actually get to experience. And it was one of those things that thought that would happen in spring training, maybe next season, but being able to do it here in the fall league right away, it just puts everything together and makes everything even more worth it. I said it when I first found out I was coming out here. I said this is the biggest opportunity in my career since getting drafted. Still pretty young, but some big things are coming up in terms of my career, my contract, and different things like that. So this is just a huge opportunity to put myself out there and to compete at a really high level, show the organization that I can play at this level and intermix with a bunch of organizations and other players and just play at such a level with such high talent around me, and just a huge opportunity. Like I said before, it's just an opportunity that not many players get, and you just got to take advantage of it.